Hello, guys. Welcome back. It is a much better day and a much better week in the crypto space. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. Help us support the channel and click that bell icon just to stay up to date with all of your crypto needs. So, what are we speaking about today? Solana and Cardano. So, these are the ones we're going to be kind of going over and paying attention to just for today. Right, so hopefully tomorrow we'll have something else and maybe we'll do Bitcoin or another one, just kind of take a look at it, right? So Solana is trading at 145 right now. There's 15 hours left in the trading period. I'm just going to just make some small adjustments. There we go. All right, so like I said, I'm looking at the daily chart right now. You've seen this significant kind of decline coming through. It peaked back up a little bit, but just didn't really kind of mellowed out, especially if you bought in here, you lost out, you probably just broke even if you traded it in, right? So Solana is one of those coins that I have huge faith in. It's just me. I own several right now, but of course I bought in much lower, and yeah, I paid about $100 for it, and so I like to watch Solana kind of go back through because there's a lot of action. It kind of keeps it going up forward, right? So, when we're looking at here, one of the major things that we're looking at, of course, you know how I like to say about market structures, and you can kind of see these major structures here, especially with the decline starting that back from the 29th of July coming up, and then we got a little bit of retracement coming down, but we're still kind of in that bearish momentum going down, right? So we had a little bit of excitement coming through, and we'll dig in a little bit later to kind of take a look at really what happened at the specific moment. But you can see the rejection kind of just it went up, and then like the rejection and just kind of just kept going with it. So, however, yesterday was a little bit better, and today is okay as well. But there's still some selling kind of going on right now. So the high is 147 right now, and the low is 143, and we're kind of like in between that right now. So that's what's happening. The next big hurdle, or something that's going to kind of stop us from going a little bit lower, and you kind of see that was from like yesterday, is 141. I'm just going to move this up a little bit too. So that support level was right around here, and kind of giving that window back and forth, and that's kind of reinforced by back in May. A little bit, and even right here is a good support level. It kind of just showed that was back in March of this year. So also, you have, yeah, a little bit in July, the beginning of July, and so the same thing is kind of giving us that good support. So, but what are our hurdles to come through? 157, kind of this area, where you see the little green line. That is kind of going to be a moment that we need to get past, so we can start moving up. But we'll see some resistance around 165 before we can actually touch back between 183. Now, before I'd even spoke about that, it will reach that again just from this market structure here, that we can see $200. So it's not impossible. We've seen it, and of course it declined. But technically, if you just kind of like look at it a little bit, I mean, we're knocking on the door. We're getting closer. So I do believe it is highly possible to break a new high. But we'll just have to, of course, get past these couple of hurdles, right? So even weekly, you can kind of see that the weekly chart's just not so strong. Last week, however, there was a lot of action going on, back and forth, and then of course this week is kind of growing a little bit more. So we still have 5 days, right? $145. And the high, I mean, we're talking about the high, the 150, the low is 141. I mean, that's a $10 change, right? So hopefully we'll get something a little bit more from that. But let's move on from Solana. Daily for, I'm sorry, Cardano. God, I can't speak today. So Cardano is one of those tokens you've heard me say probably multiple times again. It's not something, we never really see a whole lot of action, but right now, just a whole lot of dead action. If you pay attention to it, it's kind of mimicking a little bit of what's happening with Solana as well. So we're kind of going down, but this was kind of our sign right here when it just kept knocking, and then as you started seeing this candle grow, that was kind of showing you that okay, the market's reversing. Now, Cardano's trading right now at what, 33 cents. I mean, that is like 100% less than what it was back in the day when I remember it was $3, and so it's just absolutely sad. So it's continuing to fall. But we were talking about the market structure before in one of our previous videos right here, where we can kind of return back to that area. And this is all old markings that I was mentioning about in a previous video right here. And we broke past that, and I had mentioned that once we start to reach inside of this, that the selling pressure will continue and it will continue to decline. Now our support level is around 32 cents, kind of a give or take, right? 31, 30. Um, so if we continue to break past down this two, nothing's going to stop us until we hit around 25. Not really. I mean, 30 is kind of like the last line of defense. But I don't believe it's going to get there. I believe what we're going to see coming forward with Cardano is that we're going to start to see a little bit of a range happening, kind of like this, but the reversed effect where it'll start to go up. And then we are going to have to fight back on that previous support level and previous resistance level as well. So this is going to be that moment, 39, 40 cents to push up until 45 or so. So the whole goal right now, and really to be really positive, and for me to buy, I will buy some Cardano once it breaks around 48, 49. That's what I'm going to do, just because it's going to show a little bit of positive sentiment coming into it, right? So a little bit more than that, because even if we look at the weekly, it's just not so great, right? So it's still showing me that we're still going down. So even if it starts to pump up in the next month or so, it's still not enough for me to really buy in. And that's where I think to reach the 47-cent mark, the 50-cent mark for Cardano is going to be more than likely in 2 or 3 months, for me to really be positive that that's giving me the chance to see that it's going to close above that, right? And so that way I can kind of enter at a safer time. So right now, if you again, based on the line from the daily, even if it closes up weekly positive, around 36, 37, I still need to see 2 weeks from that. And that's 2 weeks just to see if it's going in. And still, we're not in the 40 mark. We're still kind of quite low. And that's what I need to pay attention to the most. But let's jump into the rest of the market. Right. So, like I said, today is much, much better. It's at least somewhat in the green, but we have 15 hours left, and we all know how that goes, right? So, Bitcoin's up by 1%, Ethereum's by 2.4. BNB is looking at 2.8% as well, which is pretty good. Cardano, nothing. Solana, nothing. It's actually right around the same. Doge at 1.2% as well. Matic, 0.3 is down near 0.2, so nothing really happening, but still much better. Weekly, however, Bitcoin is up by 6%, Ethereum 5.4, Solana 3.1, XRP is up by 11.6% as well. So much better. Near is up by 7.1, APT 19 and 4, Doge 5 and 6. So much better. The month sucks. Yeah, that's true. Ethereum fell 17% for the month. XRP is up by 8.3, Cardano 24.4, AVAX 19.4. So really a bad month for crypto altogether. Matic fell by 21%, but even if we look at the year, it's much better, right? Solana jumped up by 504% in the last year. So you can kind of see, you can kind of like make your adjustments by paying attention to what it was this time last year and by the monthly, and kind of calculate from that if you're one of those holders or if you're a day trader. Either way, day trading can be fun and interesting, but it can also be exhausting and mentally tiresome. So I like to typically purchase, forget about it for the most part, and then go on about my business, right? So that's my strategy. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Where is Solana going to go? Where is Cardano going to go? Are we going to see some changes in Cardano? Are we going to reach 50%, 50 cents within the next couple of months? Do you think it'll be sooner? Do you think it'll be later? And what about Solana? What about 200? When do you think we're going to reach 200? Drop that information in the comments below and let me know. And I will take a look at that as well and see what you guys have for your opinions. And I will see you again in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so we can talk about things a little bit later on and you won't miss a thing. Have a good day.